Hey, how you doing today? And welcome to another video piano lesson. Today's lesson we're going to be talking about arpeggio flares. And all an arpeggio flare is a quick little flare with your right hand up or down the keyboard when you have a couple extra beats between melody notes. And if you use it if you want to add some kind of awe, excitement, captivation, that kind of stuff to your pieces. You just have a couple extra beats, you throw an arpeggio flare, you plug and crank, and your song will sound more edgy, it'll sound more exciting, more captivating. So that's what I want to teach you today. Now there's three main types of arpeggio flares. There's the normal arpeggio flare, there's what I call arpeggio flare cycling, and then there's a ninth chord trickle down. And those are the three types I'm going to teach you today. But before I teach you those, I want to say this video right here is just going to teach you the notes. That's it, the exact notes you play. But there are a couple of videos underneath this that are going to teach you the correct form you want to use when you play your arpeggios, and they're also going to teach you accelerated learning techniques so you can learn this stuff in a couple weeks instead of spending 3 months trying to drill it into your system. So make sure you watch those videos. Those are a lot more actually important than this video I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so first let's go into the exact notes of the normal arpeggio flare. Alright, so the normal arpeggio flare, all it is a normal arpeggio up the keyboard. So if we're doing, let's say a C major one, it's going to be C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G, C. So in context, it might look something like this. See how that kind of adds a little bit of excitement, a little bit of, whoa, what was that? And hopefully gets your audience more into the piece. All right, so like I said, all it is a basic arpeggio, and the fingering, I'll put the fingerings to all your arpeggios down below as well, but it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. So that's the normal arpeggio sweep. All right, now the second variation is what I call arpeggio flare cycling. And all it is the exact same thing we just did, but at any point you can turn around and cycle back down for a beat, and then you cycle back up. So it might look something like this. So all I'm doing is, it's like C, E, G, and then C, E, G, and now instead of crossing over with your thumb, you play it with your pinky, and you cycle back down as if you're going back down an arpeggio. And then G, E, and then you go back up. So then C, E, G, and now you cross, C, E, G, and now you go back down. So basically at any point in your arpeggio, instead of crossing the thumb under, you can play the pinky, go back down, and then go back up. So, I mean, I could do let's say I'm doing, let's go in F major. So let's say I'm doing, and usually I use it if I have like, if the space between the melody notes that I kind of want to fill with this little flare is too long, and I do the normal flare and it's like, oh, now I have like 3 beats of awkward silence in between, then I'll add a couple of cycles back down to lengthen the arpeggio and make it fill the space better. Another place I like to use these is at the end of songs. A lot of times I'll cycle the top a couple times. So let's say I'm doing the final part of a song and it's, and it's a real nice way to kind of just like end off a piece. All right, so that was number 2, cycling. Let's move on to number 3, which is the ninth chord arpeggio trickle down. And it's gonna sound something like this. Or if I do it in context. So basically all it is a ninth chord arpeggio. So a ninth chord, I'll go over it briefly. But all it is you take your normal chord. So let's say you're doing a C chord. So C, E, G, and you take the ninth, which is actually the same as the second, because if you count up 9 from C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's a D. So a C chord, we take this D and we put it down here. So all you have to think of is like your normal chord and then just add that second in. Now the fingering for this, instead of playing it like this, because this is tough, because it's tough to cross over with the 5th finger because your pinky's super short and super weak. So that's going to be challenging. So what I do is I shift and I put my 4th finger on the E, then 3rd, 2nd, and thumb on the G. That way it's easier to cross with that fourth finger than it is with that fifth finger. So it's gonna be E, D, C, G, E, D, C, G, E, D, C, G. So in fast motion. And see, it has that nice kind of like trickle down, like it almost sounds like, you know, raindrops or water coming down. And a lot of times I don't play this one like super fast, it's more of a, or if you have the chord. It's kind of add more emotion and sensitivity to your songs. I like them a lot better going down. You can also try them going up if you want, and it's the exact same fingering. So G, C, D, E, G, C, D, E, G, C, D, E, G. And you can play that last G with your pinky if you want. I just think they sound a lot better going down, so that's how I usually play them. All right, that's all I got for this video lesson. Those are the three types: the normal, the cycling, and the ninth chord arpeggio trickle down. Try these out, and remember, watch the videos below so you know exactly how to learn them fast and you know the correct form when you're practicing these. And the last thing I want to mention is, you notice I didn't do any left-hand arpeggios. That's in a separate section altogether labeled left-hand arpeggios, because those aren't really flares, they're more of the bass that you play under a melody, so I put them in a separate section. So if you want to learn those, you can go hop over to that section. But first, watch a couple videos on how to learn them. And that's all I got for you. Happy practicing and peace out.